I think most of you know me. I'm Lara, the Partner Services Manager here at Art of Homeownership. And I'm just going to share my screen here and walk through the client user experience. So I'd say this is one of the biggest questions that we get is what is actually happening on that client-facing side, because there's really, kind of two components with this. There's the back end with everything going on with you and your different accounts and where you can log in and look at the activity, but there's also what your client is seeing. So that's what I wanted to focus on today, so you know what their experience is like. So the first thing is, just working here. I just really wanted to emphasize kind of like step number one for being able to get your clients signed up for Art of Homeownership. It's really important that we get your client contact information because we cannot communicate and market on your behalf without their information. So there's 3 different ways that we can do this. And likely most of you have already been through this process of the initial database upload, but we still have a lot of partners who've actually been on with us for quite some time who have not done this. So if you still decide that you would like to, you can reach out to our support team and let us know. Basically, this initial database upload is like the first time announcement to your clients. Typically, it's your past clients, but it can really be anyone that you would just want to send a general welcome announcement, letting them know you're partnering with Art of Homeownership and getting the communications out to them so that they can sign up for the different tools and services. So that's one way to get us your clients. And we have a template you can fill out, and we can format all of that for you and get it over for that first time upload. The second is the weekly submissions. And I'm going to show you in a moment where you can access that. There's 2 different places. We send reminder emails each week that go out with that recap at the bottom of the recap that Val does for the webinar, where there's a template that you can fill out with your client contact information and submit it to us. And then there's also a spot on our actual website where you can find that as well. So I'll just make sure everybody knows where that is at the end of this call. And then the last, and I think it's just really the easiest way to get a new client in is through your Art of Homeownership website. So everybody has their own Art of Homeownership website, and on that is your prospect form. And I really think of that prospect form as more of those new leads, somebody that you don't already have a lot of information on in terms of like, maybe you haven't already closed the loan with them because it can't record all of that information. But anytime you have a new prospect or somebody, maybe you bump into somebody at the grocery store, or you're at a party and you want to just, introduce them to Art of Homeownership, the more you can start showing them the value with Art of Homeownership at an earlier stage, the better. And that's the easiest way to do it, through your website. So all of these different ways, you're giving us your contact information, and we're uploading that data into Daily AI. So Daily AI is a CRM where we house everything, all of the communications, the email and drip and text messages that all go out to your clients. So the next thing is, what happens when you give us your database? So you're submitting your database over to Art of Homeownership. The first thing that we do is we upload your client contact information into Daily AI. So if you haven't been in Daily AI yet, I strongly recommend logging in and just taking a little look around to familiarize yourself with it. There's a contact section, and you can see your clients there. You can click on their name. You can see what communications have been going out to them. There's a lot that you can see within Daily AI. So that's where we upload your contacts, and we will add them to an email drip campaign. And within that campaign, it's going to introduce them to Art of Homeownership. It basically says, I'll run through the different steps in just a second, but it introduces them to Art of Homeownership, and it gives them the action items of signing up for the home concierge service with House Happy. So it will give them a link to create and opt into that account, and then invites them to schedule an annual financial review with you. So that's typically through your scheduling link that you've provided our team, or some people have provided just their email or phone number, whatever you have decided to use. I'd say most of the time it's a scheduling link. It's going to encourage them to schedule that financial review with you. And then lastly, our team goes in and adds those clients to HomeBot so that they receive the monthly digest. So I will just show you in just a moment here what that looks like a little bit. So this is just a little snapshot general idea of what that email communication is going to look like to your clients. It's going to say, welcome, we're excited that you're joining the platform, basically that they're offering a free tool to them, and it's going to give them, encourage them to sign up for House Happy. And then also, in this email and the coming emails, it lets them know about the HomeBot, the monthly wealth digest that they'll be receiving, and different information as well. And then as well, if you've opted in for the text messages, then your clients will be getting text messages, or if you've provided us with your client's mobile phone number. If you don't have that in there, they won't receive the text. But if you do submit their cell phone, then that will be sent over to them, unless for some reason you decide you don't want to do text messages. So again, to view the email and text drip campaigns, log into your Daily AI account. The way that Daily AI works is there's a little navigation bar on the left-hand side, and this is the little drip campaign section, and it will show you the different campaigns that are in there. So now once they've received that first email from the Art of Homeownership, it's telling them what they're going to be getting with the different services, and that all of this is free and you're offering it to them. I wanted to sort of show you what the other email communications are going to look like from the companies that are sending them out. So that monthly real estate wealth digest through HomeBot. So the first thing that's going to happen, this typically takes about 2 to 3 weeks from the time that they sign up with Art of Homeownership. So from when you're submitting your closed loans, or you're getting a new prospect in, it's coming into our system and we're getting it over to HomeBot, but the processing time takes about a couple weeks. And they also have a batching system, the way that they send it out. So it'll take about 2 to 3 weeks for them to get that first monthly digest. And at that time, they send an email that has some of this information in here, like outlining exactly what they're going to be getting from HomeBot, what that looks like. And then just shortly thereafter, like a minute after that, they get their first monthly digest. So our team will recognize, based on the information that you're submitting to us, if it's a homeowner, they'll get the monthly real estate wealth digest. And if it's a renter, then there's a buyer's digest. So they look a little bit different, and it's just geared towards helping them with their goals and whatever, position or place they may be in their life at that moment. So this is a little snapshot of what the homeowner real estate wealth digest looks like. Again, this goes out once a month. It's going to be telling them, the estimated value of their home. And at the end, I'm actually going to just do a quick little walkthrough of some details of HomeBot, so we can look at this a little bit more in depth, because I think this is a really important tool, and one that you can be interactive with as well. So it gives them the estimated value. They can tune their value, shows their, what they've paid so far, and different information like that. It's really guiding them through. It's very interactive. Then the buyer report, the real estate market report, once a month, it's going to be showing them, they can set what they would like their target amount to be on their home and the target market, the areas they're looking in, and it kind of just walks them through what's going on. The nice thing about this too is it's always going to redirect them back and keep them within HomeBot, so they don't end up shopping with other, agents or anyone that maybe you're not wanting them to be speaking with. So it keeps it in-house, so to speak. Then the communications that are going to be going out from House Happy, the home concierge service. The first thing is, within that Art of Homeownership email, there will be a link that asks them to create their House Happy account, their home concierge account, and it links them over to this. You each have your own page with your name on it. And the reason being is that they really just need to opt in and agree to receiving email communications. And this is also creating an account for them at the same time. So as soon as they do that, they have their account that they can log into. House Happy has actually just recently created a demo account for our Art of Homeownership team. So I'm very excited about this. We're going to be sending out the communications to everybody so that they have the login information. One minor thing to note when you are logging into this, if you're wanting to use it to show your clients what it looks like from that client-facing perspective, it just actually is is a live account. So you don't want to actually order a service or anything because it will go ahead and do that. So that's just one little detail to note, but it's really neat because you can walk through this whole account and show the client exactly what it looks like, all the different services, how they would go in and view the job history and the bids and, you know, the inspections on their home, or if they want to do a virtual inspection. There's a lot of different details. So the clients, I'd say in particular, really enjoy taking advantage of all of these services. And then, so now they have their account that's set up. And then in addition to that, they're going to have an email flow. And I apologize, it's a little fuzzy. I didn't realize when I took the snapshot, but the first day it's coming out, they're going to receive just a welcome email from House Happy. So that's day 1. On day 3, House Happy then sends them a $50 gift certificate to use on any of their services. So that will be sent to them via email as well. And then about week 3 or 4, they'll receive a phone call from House Happy. It's just a check-in to see if they have any questions. If they're in an area where they can schedule an in-home inspection, they will you know, ask if that's something they'd like to do and help them set it up. So it's just an additional, you know, touch point and service for them. And then moving forward, it's once per week that they reach out with emails. So this is just a little sample of what that $50 gift card looks like. It just gives them little reminders. There's always going to be your branding will always be at the bottom of all of those emails, as well as in the client's account with House Happy. If you are co-branding a mortgage professional and a realtor who's both of you are working with Art of Homeownership, this would also be co-branded. And then they will receive branded service reminders once a week. So in addition to House Happy, you know, being there to help them when something breaks and they need to fix it, the other side of this is really trying to help the homeowner stay proactive and keep on top of, you know, the upkeep of their home prior to anything breaking. So they're just going to, you know, let them know to have their air conditioning checked out before it's a hot season, or, you know, those sorts of things. So they're just going to be giving them different service reminders. Maybe their filter needs replacing, that sort of thing. So then the next tool that we have is Updater. That is our relocation technology. I always like to give this reminder. I know most people know this, but this is a really important piece. You want to write it into your process, because this is an action item on your end that you, prior to your client moving, 4 weeks prior to their move approximately, you're going to want to send them an invitation to Updater so that they can, again, create and opt into their account, have their account, and then it's going to walk them through all of the steps. So I will show you at the end of this call just a little reminder on how to do that. The next piece with our relocation technology with Updater is once the client goes in and creates their, once you send that email to them, then they're going to receive within about 30 minutes an invitation to create their account. So this is just a little, you know, sample of what that would look like. Then the client, when they log into their account, this is what it looks like from their perspective. So there's all sorts of different things that they can do. It walks them through the process within their actual client account. So they can set up their insurance, forward their mail, you know, their TV and internet. And then in addition to that, it will send them reminder emails based on when they need to do those things. So, you know, here's an example of walking through the steps to update their driver's license and more. There's just a lot of things that are really helpful. I know Jewel Marsh was telling us the other day that this is one of the things he really emphasizes with Updater with his clients, because he's saying if they can save them a trip to the DMV, Updater is worth it just for that piece alone, and I couldn't agree more. Sample Updater service reminder email. This is just a little example of what it looks like. You know, they'll show AT&T, you could do your Wi-Fi installation, and it gives you a variety of different options, and it will also send it to them in an email. So it's just helping them make sure that they're getting everything done in time prior to their move date, because moving can be one of the most stressful things, and this is really there to help, you know, make it a lot smoother of a process. I like these little facts as well, the client engagement piece. So the industry email open rate on average, I think, is about 6%. With HomeBot, their email open rate on average is 80 to 90%, which is incredibly high. I'm sure Val could speak to this in the world of marketing. I don't know what the average in general is, but or across the board, but 80 to 90 is.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it's not that high. House Happy email open rate is about 45%, which is still really great. And then Updater is about 85 to 90%. So our clients, we find the clients are really engaging and this is interesting content to them, and they're, using the services, which is wonderful.
Does anyone have questions up until this point, as far as the clients being enrolled? I know Lara's about to go into more just like best practices with Art of Homeownership, but does anyone have questions? Feel free to raise your hand or put it in the chat throughout. Okay, carry on, Lara. Just want to make sure. Oh, wait.
Here, I see. How do we trigger having House Happy sent to the client? Yeah, great question. So really, if you are just getting us your client information, so you're either putting them on that prospect form or submitting them, as soon as they get that first email from Art of Homeownership, that's coming from your daily AI account, that will give them the link to House Happy. So your unique link is in that email communication, and it's basically telling the client, like, sign up for the home concierge service, click here, and then it gives them your unique link so that they can create that account. But I also recommend keeping, if you need that link again, please reach out to our support team and we can send it to you. It's just good to have on hand. Maybe you have a client that's just, for the moment, really wants the home concierge service, and you could just give them that to sign up at that moment too. It doesn't hurt to have that on hand at any time for them to go in and do that. So it's pretty easy to get them signed up for that.
And Lara, this other question here says, can a client unsubscribe from House Happy emails and still receive the benefits from it?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Yes, they can unsubscribe, and then they can still use their account. So go in, log into their account, and do the different things within there. I'd want to just do a double check that if, for example, you ordered a service, that wouldn't be, there would be something that wasn't coming to you from the unsubscribed piece, unsubscribing from that. But Val, can you just make note of that and I can get back on that piece? I believe that you can definitely get out of the weekly emails and still have full access, but I want to make sure I'm not giving any misinformation. But that's a great question, because I know we all have lots of emails in our inbox. Sometimes we don't want all of them.
Yeah.
So, okay,
one other question.
Yeah.
Steve, can you compare the benefits of HomeBot to list reports, Zillow, and Realtor.com? I'm not sure what features Zillow would have. I mean, I know just as an industry, we would probably not like to rely on Zillow and their information. So I would say that HomeBot would be more reliable. I mean, I can't really speak to the different features that would be comparable to HomeBot, but I would just say like the reliability and kind of the validation behind HomeBot is a lot better than Zillow or Realtor.com.
Yeah, and they use if I'm understanding the question correctly, they, in terms of showing the different homes and what's on the market, they use a company called YLOPO, which is YLOPO. And so that is the piece that's redirecting always back to them shopping with you. And I think that's a big thing that HomeBot's really known for as well, is just being able to have, they're very like classy, I guess would be the best way to put HomeBot. I think, in my opinion, I think they're a really well-run company, and I think that they do things really well. Everybody's very happy with their services, and clients have a lot of positive feedback about it.
Mm-hmm.
Let me know, Val, if there's any other questions. Thanks for monitoring. I'm like not the best at multitasking on that kind of thing. Okay. So I wanted to go through a few things while I'm here is sort of like best practices that I see in terms of art of homeownership. That this is what I really think of as like the bare minimum of success with your client. So first, I mean, this seems really commonsensical, but like talking to everybody about art of homeownership and making it your why. And I think if you can start to shift that this is a piece of the way that you operate your business rather than a service that you pay for that's an add-on to your business, I feel like it just changes everything. And the more that you can become comfortable talking about it, I know there's a lot of different components, and sometimes it takes a little bit to kind of like get your feet under you and understand all of the different pieces that are being offered. But I think that I swear I really see the most success with everybody once they're able to really make it more of their why behind the reason they're doing their business like this. So the certification course, I'm going to show you all of these things in just a moment where you can find them. The certification course in Art of Homeownership, that is the best place to get started if you haven't done that already, or even if you just want a little brush up refresher. For example, we were just asking about HomeBot. Val has a really great video in there where she did a whole interview with Haley, and I think we might even have another one coming up in the near future, overviewing like the benefits of HomeBot, and it just gives you so much depth on all of the different things they can do. So that's in our certification course. And then enrolling clients and prospects. If you're not getting us your client contact information, we are not communicating to them about Art of Homeownership. So that is like the number one thing. We have to have your client bare minimum name, first name, last name, email, and their property address. That's the bare minimum of what we really need to be able to get them everything that they need. And then that making sure that you're consistently sending that relocation technology, the update or invitation, when it's about 4 weeks before the client is moving. So I'm just going to show you really quickly here. I'm in the Learning Center, which is learn.artofhomeownership.com, or we also refer to it as the ELP. This is the section where we put this certification course. So now what we have in here is when you make it through this course, you can have an actual badge that you can display in your email signature. It's just saying that you're a certified Art of Homeownership professional. And the way that we have this set up is that you can walk through the different pieces here, and we've really outlined them, in our opinion, in order of importance. And as you walk through everything, so I'm going to start with the dreams and goals call here and the way that it's set up. The required viewing is going to be locked when you first come in here. And each of these required viewing sections we tried to make them about 5 minutes or less because we know that you're very busy. So you're just going to want to run through those. And once you get through that section, it will unlock the deeper dive. So there's, video of Ryan doing a initial dreams and goals call. And I think the deeper dive section is very valuable. You also have this file repository area. This is the client intake form for the initial dreams and goals and annual financial review. Sometimes sometimes it's like you need to scroll over if there's more pieces in the file repository area. But once you get through that, the required viewing sections, you can go to the next course. So you could just do the 5 minutes here, the 5 minutes here, and as you make it all the way through the whole thing, now you can get your certification. And it's at least going to give you a really good overview of Art of Homeownership and what's being offered to your clients. I feel like this is a really good starting point for being able to just feel confident in talking about it. So if you are only able to do those 5-minute videos in each, I highly recommend it. And then there's obviously a lot of other fantastic content in our course library, which is where you can find things. And then you can just easily search as well. If you want to find a script, for example, you can do that and see all of the results and pull that up, or a PowerPoint presentation. Ryan is really great about sharing pretty much the majority of all of his content that he has. So we have a lot of great content in here for you. So there's that I wanted to show you. And then this is just, I wanted to make note of the weekly submissions, we call them. So that's going to be your closed loans. We have a process where, you're going to be getting an email. That's an email reminder every week. But in addition to that, you can come into Art of Homeownership and scroll all the way to the bottom. And there's a button here, Client Enrollment Submissions. So this is just the quick, easy access to your weekly data submissions. This is where you can download the template and fill it out. And we have a new, this is just a new system. Sorry, Heather, I don't know why her stuff always pulls up. And then you can put your name and then upload your CSV, click the boxes and submit it. So it's really quick and easy to do. You just get it over to our team, and then that's when we're going to get your contacts into Daily AI, the CRM. Does anyone have questions about that so far? Okay. Then I am just going to give one little reminder about how to send your Updater relocation technology invitation to your clients. This is, you have your own login with Updater. If for some reason you need to reset your password, you can go in and do that. Or if you don't have the account for some reason, just reach out to our team and we can make sure that we get that for you all set up. But when you log into your account, there's a button called Send Invite. It's going to walk you through the steps. And again, this is about 4 weeks before. You put your client's first and last name and email. You can add a co-borrower. You put their old address, their new address, their estimated move date, when they want their client to receive the invitation. You can schedule it out if you want. You can customize this message. And then this part's really nice. You can add a real estate agent if you have somebody that you're working with. And then the email that goes out and the information within Updater is going to be co-branded. And you click send. Another piece I like to point out here is there's this providers section. So for example, if somebody is in their account and they're clicking on an insurance, they want to set up homeowners insurance or something of that nature. They would have, Updater would provide whomever's in the area, but you can also add your own providers that are going to pop up in addition. So this is a nice way to network with individuals. It's really easy to come in here and just add a provider, put their information in, and then it's going to be showing up to your clients as well. So if you have a minute to go in and do that, I definitely recommend that. Okay. And then the last piece, and then we can open it up for questions here, this is my demo account with HomeBot. It's not as full as I would like it to be with client information, but HomeBot, if there's one of our tools that you're really logging into and keeping an eye on, I would definitely recommend that you do that with HomeBot. The reason being, you can really see the activity that is going on and see the interest with your clients. So in this activity section, what you would see in your account, because you'll have a lot of clients in here, my activity sheet is not very much because I don't have a lot of people, but it's going to show you who has clicked on an email, who's opened it, how many times they viewed it, you know, all of the engagement that that client is having with that monthly wealth digest is going to be showing. So you can actually sort it by activity and see who has the most activity. You can get an idea of, like, let's say whatever it might be they're looking at, then you can reach out to them with a phone call and just let them know that, you know, you saw that they were interested in X, Y, and Z and you wanted to help them with that, whatever it might be. It just gives you the opportunity to have more conversation. So we have individuals that are going in here on a weekly basis. Some of them go in even on a daily basis and just keep an eye on what is going on and then make sure to reach out. If you want to come in and see, for example, what the homeowner is viewing, so this person right here, you can click on their name and you can see all the information that is here. You can edit things if you need to, and then you can preview their digest. So when you click preview digest, this is where you see what the client is seeing from their client facing side. So when this comes in, they might get their monthly digest and go, oh, you know, I just did a kitchen remodel. I actually want to tune my value. And so they're going to put that in and, you know, work with you to get their value as accurate as possible. And then you can come in here and edit the information if for some reason it needs to be updated. there is a variety of different things. You know, it's very interactive. So, you know, the client can see how is this information calculated and what they've paid for so far and how the interest adds up. They can say if they feel like this looks correct or not. Looking at a refi, there's a lot of different pieces here that the client can go through. It even shows them if they were to Airbnb their house, how much they could potentially earn. So every time the client is clicking on these sort of buttons as well, can you help me learn more? It's going to send you a message that they are interested. And so that's also another opportunity for you to reach out. And then the buyer's side, my computer will go here. The buyer side is similar. And so it can show them kind of what's happening in terms of like, is it a buyer's market or a seller's market? And you can see what's going on in these different areas, how many days they're on market. I believe you can also connect with HomeBot if you're really wanting to make these numbers as accurate as possible. I know that they can work with you too to like kind of customize even more so your account. So that's something, but this is where if you're really going to be looking at the home listings, typically this is where it's going to be kind of connecting you in and taking you to through YLOFO. You can explore, they can explore the different markets and kind of get an idea of, you know, oh, if I went for a bigger house, what would that look like, or a cheaper buy, or a faster move time. So there's just a lot that they can do, and they make it interactive and fun. And then, yeah, you can see their activity feed, so how it was sent and when they opened it and all of those details as well. And then there's so much in here, I can't even like get into all of it without, you know, making it probably too long, me talking, but the other two, I guess 3 other things I really wanted to touch on today, and then I would definitely recommend you watch the HomeBot training video with Haley from HomeBot, is the sponsored agent piece. You can sponsor and invite an agent to do to join HomeBot and just kind of do it out as do it in the beginning, a little trial with HomeBot. And then the monthly wealth digest, if you're working together, it would go out co-branded. And so there's more information, you can learn about it and how to set it up and all of that when you're in your account. But this is a really great way to connect with other people. Also, if you're wanting to just do little, put some things on social media, the share page is really great. You can actually embed a widget or share on social media. You can get a link. So this is your direct link. And this is a great way to just do some sort of a post that's going to be getting the buyers to see what their own report looks like, or the homeowners. So I think this is something that's really easy to do and a great thing to take advantage of. And then lastly, there's a lot of different ways HomeBot offers customizations within your account. That's included because we have this pro account through HomeBot. A lot of these things are included within. So if you wanted to learn more about YLOFO, that was I was talking about, it has information here on that. They do Mortgage Coach, Bomb. If you're wanting to create like your own little custom video that goes out with every monthly wealth digest, you can integrate your Bomb account, and then it really shows up. I think they have a little example of how they do it. So you can see like this person's getting the monthly digest, there's your branding, and then you have a little video telling them exactly what's going on with their home. I think this is I would be very impressed if I got this for somebody.
I think the videos go over really well. And we even have the scripts that I think a lot of you have taken action with that already, but we have the scripts that you can include in your HomeBot digest. And that really goes over well because some of this is kind of overwhelming if they don't really know what it all means. So if you're there to explain it to them right when they're seeing it, it's really impactful.
Exactly. I agree, Val. There's also just general videos that we have stock videos that we have created, animated. So for these sections, like the right for refi, sending to homeowners and buyers. So if you would like our team to add our stock animated videos, if you don't have time to film your own right now, we can add those into your account. So you can just reach out and let us know, our support team, that you would like that. And then that is, I would say, the majority. Just coming in also, and this is just a little like housekeeping piece, but if you have people in here that are bouncing back, just making sure you're going in and like cleaning it out, deleting them out, because they are counting as contacts while they're still in your account. And I know that when you're going over, if you have a lot of people in HomeBot, they can just increase the, number of people in the pricing per month. So I don't know, that's just a little thing. But if you have a lot of people in here that are not receiving this email and they're bouncing, just delete it out. And I think that's pretty much it in terms of just the basic overview of that. I did want to say one last thing, and then I want to open it up for questions on any of this we can go through. Just that we have a lot of great support resources for you with Art of Homeownership. I'm sure you know about all of these, but I just wanted to reemphasize, anytime you need anything, reach out to our support at artofhomeownership.com team. So email us. And then we also have a knowledge base, a resource center. So sometimes you might be able to find the answers to your questions just by looking in our knowledge center. That's support.artofhomeownership.com. We just went through the learning center, but always going in there for any information that you need training wise. We have such a great amount of content in there. I would definitely recommend taking advantage of. And then I have office hours on Tuesdays at 10 a.m. to 11 Pacific time, and then 1 to 2 Pacific. And what they are is it's an open hour that I just jump on Zoom and I just wait for anybody to come. So if somebody has a question, if you just wanted to jump on and ask me about your account and, review something, I think sometimes it's so much easier to get things done via like a screen share versus 3 emails back and forth. I just had that happen the other day, that I just felt like we got a lot accomplished on a Zoom call versus email. So anyway, I am there, and feel free to come jump in with any questions that you have. Typically, it usually ends up being a one-on-one anyway. So I'm always there on Tuesdays if you need any additional support. So Val, do you want to add anything?
Well, just on the office hours, I would also encourage everyone. I know some of you have members of your team that are kind of managing your Art of Homeownership, whether it's the client uploads or whatever it may be. So definitely let them know as well about Lara's office hours, because if they have any questions or could improve their process in any way, I think that's Lara's the best person to talk to. So I think that that's a really good thing to pass along to them as well. But Lara, this was really helpful. Does anyone have, it's kind of easier sometimes if you raise your hand and just come in to talk. Does anyone have general questions about what Lara went over today? Because I know there's some confusion about this sometimes. David.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, David, how are you?
Hey, David.
I appreciate it. I just wanted to ask, so I'm just making sure I'm clear on this. So there's House Happy and there's Updater. They are not the same thing, but we need to send both invitations to the client manually about 4 weeks before they're going to close from 2 separate platforms.
So just the Updater piece is what you need to send 4 weeks before. In terms of the way that Ryan likes to talk about it is, the sooner you can get a client into Art of Homeownership, the better, because they're going to be able to start talking about it and seeing the value that you're providing them. So they don't have to have closed a loan for them to receive this. So in that regard, I'm going to give you an example of, I'll show you, this is Ryan's Art of Homeownership website. His looks a little different because he has his Neo branding on it. So in his website here, he's going to go in, and anytime you fill this form out, David, that's going to take the client to an email communication that tells them to sign up for the home concierge service. So really, you don't have to do anything in regards to the home concierge service or a lot of those other tools. We're doing all of that on the back end. You just have to get your client contact information into the system. Does that make sense?
I think so. So if we put them into this form, if we just, every client, we put them into this form, when they come to us, the system will do it for us in the invitations and explain and walk them through. Here's how you get HomeBot. Here's how you get go in and get your updater account, your House Happy account, all of that. Or is there anything else we want to be doing manually? It sounds like the updater is the one we handle for them additionally. Is the only thing?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, perfect.
You're
Thank
right. Yeah, and I think too, David, with your, you could talk to the team with Neo as well, but I believe they have, they have it pretty dialed with their customer success managers getting involved with helping with a lot of these pieces too. And then also they have assistance in getting the closed loans over to our team so we can make sure that all of your contacts are uploaded at that stage as well. So we just always want to make sure that they're getting the communication. But yeah, for the most part, all you need to know about is getting us your contacts, talking about it so they feel comfortable talking about it with everybody, and then before they're moving at that 4-week stage, sending that invitation to Updater. Does anybody else have any questions?
Just so everyone knows too, as far as the HomeBot videos, if you wanted those in your digest, I think Ceci had sent the link in the chat. So if you want or don't have those animated videos already uploaded into HomeBot, feel free to just fill out that form and then we'll get them uploaded for you. I think all the information should be there. And she sent it again. She's on it.
Awesome.
Okay, anyone else? And be sure to check out the video that I sent in the chat. That's what we did with Haley a few months ago. And we're also going to have her come on again, I think maybe next month, because she does a really good job of looking at the back end of HomeBot and saying, if you see a past client take a certain action, that's when you should be reaching out to them. So be sure to watch that because it gives really good insight into what actually to look for and the best kind of triggers that should solicit a phone call. So check that out, really good information. Any other questions? Might get some time back in your day today. Okay. All right, I think we should be good. Lara, thank you so much. This was really valuable. I know we get a lot of questions around it, so I think it was important to go over. Thank you all for joining us as always, and we'll see you next week.
Okay. Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Al.
See you later.